The relationship between Iran and Israel is one of the most complex and volatile in the Middle East. Understanding this relationship is crucial for comprehending the dynamics of the region. Both countries have a long history, marked by periods of cooperation and conflict. Today they stand as bitter rivals, their animosity fueled by historical grievances, ideological differences, and strategic competition. This complex relationship has significant implications for regional and global security. The possibility of direct conflict, particularly given the nuclear issue, is a constant source of concern. Moreover, the rivalry between Iran and Israel spills over into neighboring countries, exacerbating existing tensions and fueling proxy wars. To fully grasp the intricacies of this relationship, it is essential to delve into the historical context, analyze the motivations and objectives of both sides, and examine the potential scenarios that could unfold in the future. This essay aims to provide a comprehensive overview of the multifaceted conflict between Iran and Israel, exploring the historical, ideological, and strategic dimensions that shape this volatile relationship. The seeds of the current animosity between Iran and Israel were not always present. In fact, the relationship between the two nations was once marked by cooperation and even friendship. Prior to the 1979 Islamic Revolution in Iran, the two countries enjoyed relatively cordial relations. The Shah of Iran, Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, saw Israel as a valuable ally in the region, particularly in the face of shared concerns about Arab nationalism and Soviet influence. This period of cooperation saw economic and military ties flourish between the two states. Israel even provided military aid and expertise to Iran, contributing to the modernization of the Iranian armed forces. However, the overthrow of the Shah and the establishment of the Islamic Republic under Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini drastically altered the dynamics of the relationship. Khomeini's revolutionary ideology viewed Israel as an illegitimate entity and a Western outpost in the heart of the Muslim world. This ideological stance, coupled with Iran's desire to export its revolution and emerge as a regional power, set the stage for decades of animosity and confrontation. At the heart of the Iran-Israel conflict lies a fundamental ideological divide. Iran, under its Islamic Republic system, views itself as a champion of Islam and a leader of the Muslim world. Its ideology is rooted in a profound rejection of Israel's existence, viewing the Jewish state as an illegitimate entity occupying Muslim land. Israel, on the other hand, sees itself as a Jewish and democratic state, established in its ancestral homeland after centuries of persecution. It prioritizes its security and survival in a region where it often perceives itself as surrounded by hostile forces. These diametrically opposed ideologies create a fundamental clash of values and aspirations. Iran's revolutionary zeal and its commitment to supporting Palestinian resistance groups directly challenge Israel's security interests. Israel's close ties to the West, particularly the United States, further fuel Iranian suspicions and accusations of Western imperialism. This ideological divide is further complicated by the domestic political dynamics within both countries. Hardliners on both sides often exploit the animosity to bolster their own positions and silence any voices advocating for moderation or dialogue. Section 4. The nuclear threat, a looming shadow. The Iranian nuclear program has been a central point of contention in the Iran-Israel conflict for over 2 decades. Iran maintains that its nuclear program is for peaceful purposes, aimed at energy production and scientific research. However, Israel and many Western powers view Iran's nuclear ambitions with deep suspicion, fearing that Tehran seeks to develop nuclear weapons capability. Israel considers a nuclear-armed Iran an existential threat, citing the Iranian regime's hostile rhetoric and its support for anti-Israel militant groups. The Israeli government has repeatedly stated that it will not allow Iran to acquire nuclear weapons and has hinted at the possibility of preemptive military action to prevent such an outcome. The 2015 Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, also known as the Iran nuclear deal, offered a glimmer of hope in diffusing the nuclear crisis. The agreement, negotiated between Iran and 6 world powers, including the United States, imposed strict limitations on Iran's nuclear program in exchange for the lifting of sanctions. However, the Trump administration's withdrawal from the JCPOA in 2018 and the subsequent reimposition of US sanctions have significantly escalated tensions. Section 5: Proxy wars and regional influence, a battlefield beyond borders. The rivalry between Iran and Israel extends far beyond their own borders. Both countries are engaged in a complex web of proxy wars and alliances vying for influence and strategic advantage across the Middle East. Iran has been a long-standing supporter of various militant groups in the region, including Hezbollah in Lebanon, Hamas in the Gaza Strip, and various Shia militias in Iraq and Syria. Israel, for its part, has forged close ties with several Arab states, particularly in the Gulf region. The Abraham Accords, signed in 2020, normalized relations between Israel and the United Arab Emirates and Bahrain, marking a significant shift in regional dynamics. These alliances reflect shared concerns about Iran's growing influence and its ballistic missile program. The Syrian civil war has served as a particularly volatile battleground for the Iran-Israel conflict. Iran's support for the Assad regime and its deployment of troops and militias to Syria have brought Iranian forces into close proximity to the Israeli border. Israel, in turn, has conducted numerous airstrikes inside Syria, targeting Iranian assets and weapons shipments destined for Hezbollah.